It was a bright afternoon at a Tesla event in Austin, Texas. People of all ages had gathered to catch a glimpse of Elon Musk, the enigmatic billionaire whose innovations had shaped the future. Among the crowd was a little girl named Sophia, just 7 years old, holding her father's hand tightly as they waited for the Q&A session to begin. Sophia was a curious soul, always asking questions about the stars, the universe, and life itself. Her father, a science teacher, had encouraged her curiosity from an early age, often telling her that the world was full of wonders waiting to be explored. But lately, Sophia had been pondering a question that even her father couldn't answer to her satisfaction. When it was finally time for questions, Elon Musk stood on the stage, answering inquiries about Mars colonization, artificial intelligence, and renewable energy. The audience was captivated, but Sophia could hardly wait. With her heart pounding, she let go of her father's hand and raised hers high. Elon noticed her small, waving hand and smiled. "Yes, the young lady in the front. What's your question?" The microphone was passed to Sophia, and the room fell silent. Standing on tiptoes to reach the mic, she asked in her sweet, trembling voice, "Mr. Musk, do you believe in God?" A hush spread through the room. It wasn't the kind of question people expected at a tech event, and all eyes turned to Elon. For a moment even he seemed taken aback, but then his expression softened, and he knelt slightly, making eye contact with Sophia. "That's a big question for such a small person," he began, his voice gentle. "Can I ask you why you want to know?" Sophia hesitated, her cheeks turning pink. "Because, my mum says God made everything. But my teacher says science did. And I just want to know what you think." The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Elon took a deep breath, his eyes glimmering with a mix of thoughtfulness and emotion. "Sophia," he said, "I think your question is one of the most important questions anyone can ask, and I'll try to answer it the best I can." He paused, gathering his thoughts. "I think about God as I think about the universe. The universe is vast, mysterious, and full of things we don't yet understand. Some people call the force that created the universe God, and others try to explain it through science. But maybe it's not about choosing one or the other. Maybe it's about seeing how they might be connected." Sophia's eyes widened as he continued. "When I look at the stars, when I think about how life exists on this tiny planet in the middle of an infinite cosmos, I feel a sense of wonder. And to me, wonder is a lot like faith. It's believing in something bigger than ourselves, even if we don't have all the answers. So yes, in my own way, I believe in something extraordinary out there." Sophia's lip quivered and her eyes filled with tears. "So it's okay to believe in both?" Elon nodded, his voice soft. "Yes, Sophia. It's okay to believe in both. Science helps us understand how things work, and faith helps us find meaning in it all. They're like two sides of the same coin, and your curiosity, that's the most important thing of all. Never stop asking questions." The applause that erupted filled the room, but for Sophia, the world around her seemed to blur. Elon's words weren't just an answer, they were a gift, one that touched her deeply. She turned and ran back to her father, her small arms wrapping around his waist as she buried her face into his chest. Tears streamed down her cheeks, and her father, puzzled, knelt down to comfort her. "Why are you crying, sweetheart?" he asked, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Because," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion, "I think I understand now. And it's so beautiful." Her father held her close, smiling through his own tears. He knew that moments like these, moments of profound understanding and wonder, were rare and precious. As the applause faded, Elon stood quietly for a moment, his gaze following Sophia. Her innocent yet profound question seemed to hang in the air, resonating not just with him, but with everyone in the room. Turning back to the audience, he addressed them with a sincerity that deepened the impact of his words. "You know," he said, "when I was a kid I asked a lot of questions too. Some people thought they were silly, but questions are how we learn. Never be afraid to ask questions, no matter how big they seem. That's how we make progress." Sophia's father knelt beside her, his eyes glistening with pride. "You did something amazing today, Sophia. You asked a question that made everyone stop and think. The event continued, with Elon answering more questions about technology and the future, but the atmosphere had shifted. Sophia's innocent inquiry had touched a chord in everyone present, a gentle reminder of the importance of curiosity, faith, and wonder. After the event, as people began to disperse, a young journalist approached Sophia and her father. "That was a very brave question you asked," she said, kneeling to Sophia's level. "What made you think of it?" Sophia looked up at her father, then back at the journalist. "I just wanted to know the truth. And Mr. Musk made me feel like it's okay to keep looking for it." The journalist smiled and handed Sophia a small notebook. "Here, use this to write down all your questions. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one answering big questions for the world." Sophia's eyes lit up as she took the notebook, clutching it tightly to her chest. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with determination. That night, as Sophia lay in bed, she stared out her window at the stars. For the first time, they didn't seem quite so far away. She thought about Elon's words, about wonder and faith, and felt a warmth in her heart. She didn't have all the answers yet, but she felt certain of one thing. The journey to find them was going to be amazing. Her father peeked into her room, seeing her gaze fixed on the heavens. "Good night, my little explorer," he said softly. She turned to him, a sleepy but content smile on her face. "Good night, Daddy," she murmured. "I'm going to ask more big questions tomorrow." He chuckled and kissed her forehead. "I'll be ready." And as Sophia drifted off to sleep, the stars above seemed to twinkle just a little brighter, as if they too were waiting for the next question from the little girl with a heart full of wonder.